Welcome to Gutter Trash, episode 298.
Yeah?
My name is Eric.
I'm Jason.
Hi.
Hey.
So, that happened.
Welcome to Gutter Trash New 52. New origin.
I think at this point this is now this is the DCU.
Oh yeah?
Yeah.
Okay.
Because I would say New 52 came out when after the last time that we disappeared for 6 months.
Right? Yeah, we do it. We're like a TV season. Now that production values are so high, we can't just churn the shit out. We have to,
Right.
There's a lot of post work, like the animation.
Yep. Lots of special effects these later seasons.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. We got wardrobe, makeup.
Yep.
Yeah, it has been a while. It's been 4 months?
About 4 months.
Yeah?
Yes.
Wow.
Yeah. April 23rd was the last time that we recorded.
Wow, and here it is August 23rd.
August. Oh, it is the August 23rd.
Wow.
Weird.
Yeah.
Yeah. Didn't even realize that.
Me neither.
So, should we talk about that?
Yeah, it's up to you. I don't care either way.
Okay. Well, that's insensitive of you.
I don't care either way whether we talk about it.
Okay. Well, let's go ahead and preface this by saying that, last year, our friend Doogie died.
Mm-hmm.
And that caused you some mental anguish.
Well, yeah.
And that sort of put a stop to the podcast for a while.
Right.
And we started doing it again, and everything was fine. And then I went ahead and had a nervous breakdown.
Yeah, right.
So basically, what we've proven is that gutter trash is completely and totally acceptable to bad mental health.
Yeah. We're susceptible. Yes.
Yeah.
Right. Yeah. And acceptable, probably.
Oh yeah. Did I say?
I thought you said acceptable.
I thought
Who knows?
If I did, I meant susceptible.
Right.
I've had a couple of drinks. I'm slurry a little bit.
Yeah.
My in an overall sort of bigger picture kind of view. What happened to me certainly not as traumatic as what happened to you.
Oh well, we're not. It's not a contest,
no, but
right? We just didn't feel like doing it. Neither one of us.
Right? Yeah.
For various reasons.
Yeah. But basically, what happened to me is shortly after we recorded the last episode that we did, my girlfriend broke up with me, which is not the only reason that I completely lost my mind, but it was definitely the catalyst for every other thing that happened in my life that was fucking me over to just sort of trigger and, just sort of compound into just a massive mental breakdown.
Right, yeah.
Emotional breakdown, I guess, mostly. Yeah.
And it's tough to feel like you want to be, like, pardon us for thinking that we actually are attempting to be entertaining.
Right.
So it's hard to try to be entertaining. I know everyone's like, what? You're trying to be entertaining this whole time? Really?
Surprise!
Yeah. Surprising everyone. This was actually meant to entertain you.
At the very least, it's supposed to at least entertain us.
Yeah. Right.
You know?
Yeah.
But yeah, it was very difficult, I think, for either of us during those times to really feel like we were going to be at least funny to each other.
Right, yeah. Yeah, it's like if we're not even going to entertain ourselves,
Right.
we should definitely not record it.
Right. Because, I mean, you know, when you were going through your thing and then these past couple of months where I've been going through mine, you know, we still hung out and talked to each other, but we weren't exactly
Yeah.
super chipper
Yeah.
during those times.
Yeah.
And I mean, in a way, we're both still going through it, because, I mean, you know, the year anniversary of Doogie's death has been recent, and
Yeah.
I'm sure it still affects you on a daily basis.
Oh, yeah.
And,
Yeah.
you know, and this is where I get into the whole, you know, comparison thing. You know, it's like, a girl dumped me. It's not exactly the same as, you know, your closest friend killing himself.
Right.
But, you know.
But she was a special girl.
She was a very special girl.
And obviously meant a lot to you.
Very much so. And I mean, at this point, I still can't even be mad or angry about it. I just, because I still love her very much.
Mm-hmm.
But, you know, just going through that, especially in the initial days, you know, and weeks, yeah, did not feel like talking about funny books or movies.
Right, yeah.
And I'm still not great.
Right.
I've actually it really sort of compounded my depression and my anxiety to the point where I kind of almost became suicidal. Mm-hmm. At least I had suicidal thoughts. I still continue to have suicidal thoughts.
Mm-hmm. You mean you think about Mike Muir's band from the 80s a lot?
I do, yeah.
Good stuff.
Yeah.
I'm so glad you're having those thoughts. It's such a great band. Everything's peachy.
Yeah, everything's great. But, you know, yeah, it's something that I'm dealing with.
Right.
And part of, I mean, obviously I need more than just, you know, I need help, clearly. Which if I can ever figure out my health insurance situation, I might eventually get.
Yeah, I hope so.
You know, I mean, I do want to. I actively want to. I just, it's a matter of, literally, it's a matter of time and money. And I have not much of either.
Right.
But in a way to sort of help me cope with everything that I'm feeling, I thought maybe it's time to settle into some pre ex-girlfriend routines.
Pre-chaos, yeah.
Yeah. And so I thought, you know, I started getting the hankering to do the podcast again.
Yeah.
And rather than hang out with you and just be a moany bitch,
right?
You know, maybe we should try to have some fun once in a while.
Right? Yeah. Just once in a while, though.
Yeah.
We're gonna use it back into it.
Oh, yeah. So, yeah, and then you seem to be down for doing the podcast again.
Yeah.
So here we are.
Yeah, there's movies I want to watch and books I want to read. And,
Same here.
you know.
Yeah. And then I think I've almost gotten the hang of being alone enough by myself that I could read a comic.
Right. See? That's a plus. It's definitely a plus.
Yeah. So, by the time you're hearing this, well, the long-time listener, if you've missed us, hey, we're back.
Yeah.
And, sorry for that.
Yeah.
But also, you'll hear the lost episodes.
Yeah. There's
by now.
4?
Three.
Okay.
Yeah, we, even before the breakup, just I sort of lost track of time. And then there was that point where I was actually sick for like a month and a half.
Right. Yeah.
Yeah. And, so that kind of put a damper on things. And, so there were some episodes that I just never got around to editing.
Yeah, we recorded them. We just,
yeah. And then, you know, once the breakup happened, it was just sort of like, I just really didn't feel like sitting here in my office by myself.
Putting together a podcast.
Right.
Yeah.
But, I finally put them together, and they should be up by the time you hear these. And then hopefully we're gonna keep up on this.
Yeah.
Because I kind of missed this.
Yeah, me too.
Yeah. And so,
we kind of spur of the moment decided last night to do this.
yeah.
Whereas usually we know like a week ahead of time.
Right. And, well, the thing is, 4 months ago, I picked a comic to read for this episode.
Oh, did you?
Oh, yeah.
I don't even remember.
Yeah. And so the listener probably, has it fresh in mind, what we're going to be talking about in this episode.
Sure. Yeah.
We're not going to be talking about that.
Yeah, because I totally don't even think I read the comic.
You did not.
Yeah, what comic was it?
I had picked the Thrilling Adventure Hour graphic novel.
That's right, you did. I do remember that, now that you say it.
And that is currently packed away. I don't know exactly where it is. I think it's in one of the boxes behind you there.
Ah.
But we decided spur of the moment to do this tonight. Obviously, I hadn't read the book yet. You clearly hadn't read the book yet. And both of us were not going to be reading that book within the span of 12 hours.
No.
So we decided instead we're going to do a little something different.
Yeah.
And watch a movie.
Yeah.
That we did not warn you about.
But you've seen it.
I would hope you've seen it. Because I'm pretty sure everybody's seen it by now.
I think my mom's probably... No, I don't know.
Yeah.
She probably hasn't seen it.
I know my mom has, because we saw it in the theater together.
Oh, really?
Oh, yeah.
Oh. Nice. In 94?
Ooh, yes.
94?
94.
Yeah.
I remember it distinctly, because it opened within the first month of me working at the movie theater.
Oh, wow. Okay. So you get to see it for free?
I did indeed.
Wow, nice.
Saw it multiple times for free.
Nice.
Because it is definitely one of my top 5 favorite movies of all time.
Benji, go home.
Yep.
No, what movie was it? I already forget.
It was the Thrilling Adventure Hour concert video.
That's right.
Yeah. We watched Pulp Fiction.
Pulp Fiction, yes. That's right, we did. And I haven't. I saw that movie in the theater as well in 94.
Yep.
Probably with whoever I was dating in high school. And I think I may have seen it once or twice since then on VHS.
Right.
This is the first non-VHS or theater version I ever saw.
Like I said, I saw it multiple times in the theater. While it was still playing at the theater, I would just pretty much go in there during my lunch break and watch Pulp Fiction while eating my lunch.
Right.
Just whatever half-hour span of it that was on at the time.
That's the cool thing about it. You can kind of wander into this movie. It's not like you have to watch it from the beginning.
It helps.
It does, but I mean, especially if you've seen it before, it's not like...
Oh, yeah.
You can watch the last half an hour and you're fine.
Yeah, yeah. Then I want to say I had a copy of this on VHS, like when that eventually was released. Then, upgraded to DVD, 10 years ago, 12 years ago, whenever I got a DVD player for the first time. And I'm pretty sure this was one of the first DVDs that I bought.
Really?
Yeah. And I think I watched it then, and have not seen it since.
So 10 years at least.
At least 10 years.
Yeah, it's probably been about that for me.
Yeah. Welcome back to the Gutter Trash Summer Motorboat Special.
Probably can't even hear that.
Probably not. So
Pulp Fiction.
Pulp Fiction, revisiting
Quentin Tarantino's, it's probably the movie that kind of put him on the map, right?
I would say it definitely is.
Yeah.
I would say Reservoir Dogs got him some attention.
Yeah.
But Pulp Fiction put him on the map.
Right.
For sure.
Yeah. Yeah. Reservoir Dogs was his, Madonna wearing a bra on stage, and Pulp Fiction was her sticking a crucifix in her vagina.
Right. Wait, did that happen?
Probably.
She was in The Exorcist?
In my fever dreams, yeah. Madonna stars in all the horror movies in my fever dreams.
I'd like to see that.
Yeah. So yeah, Pulp Fiction. It holds up really well.
Fuck yeah, it does.
Yeah.
Yeah. I would definitely say this still remains in my top 5 favorite movies.
Really?
Oh,
okay. Wow. Yeah, I like it a lot. It's never been one of my top 10 favorite movies, but I think it's a really well done movie.
Yeah.
And super, I mean, yeah. I mean, duh. The dialogue is so good. Like, everybody talks about it. But, I like how it is just like, kind of a boring, film trope of just like, oh, here's another, like, I don't know, here's another movie about gangsters or whatever, but it's done so differently, and, it's more about the characters, and there's hardly any gunplay in the movie other than, like, funny, like, accidents and things like that. So, I think that's what makes it so stand out as it doesn't just fall into the, the generic
gangster movie.
Right,
kind of tropes,
the cliches and everything.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah. The characters, I think, are definitely what makes this movie work more than other movies. Because, I mean, this movie came out, and then there were hundreds of other movies that wanted to be this movie.
Yeah.
And the thing that none of them had was decent characters or Quentin Tarantino.
Yeah. The soundtrack helps, too.
Oh, yeah.
Such a great soundtrack.
Oh, yeah. Even the songs I don't like are still good.
Yes. It does kind of make me want to see the further adventures of Jules, like him just wandering around the countryside, getting into adventures,
and
eventually becoming a bum.
Yep.
I think that would be awesome. That would be a good comic book, actually.
Probably. I mean, Quentin Tarantino's delved into comics recently. So.
Oh, really?
Oh, yeah.
I didn't know that.
Oh, yeah. He co-wrote the Django Unchained adaptation for Vertigo Comics.
Oh, okay.
And then there was the Django Zorro crossover.
Did he have any involvement in
He co-wrote it with Matt Wagner.
Really?
Oh, yeah.
Did not know that.
Well, co-plotted, I'm guessing.
So
I doubt that he and Matt Wagner were like sitting in an office bouncing ideas back and forth.
Yeah. He was probably just like, hey, kind of have him do this.
Right.
In a letter.
Right, yeah.
Yeah, Maverick sold one copy of each issue of Django Zorro.
Really?
One copy.
Wow.
Like, I think we may have sold 2 number ones, but after that, it was all one copy.
Whose fault do you think that was? Django's or Zorro's?
I would have to go Zorro, because Zorro doesn't sell comics at Mavericks.
Right.
And Django's never had his own comic.
Yeah, yes.
Well, yeah, actually, I'm sure that sold out, actually.
Okay,
but that was, like, hot on the tails of the movie release, so. Or maybe even before the movie.
I think it came after.
Okay.
Yeah.
But, yeah, didn't sell well.
Yeah. That's too bad.
Mm-hmm.
I like Zorro.
Yeah, he's the gay Blade.
He is.
He was in this movie, too, we just watched.
That's right.
Yeah, he was one of the servers at Jack Rabbit Slim's.
Yep.
Yeah.
That is, it's one of those things, like, rewatching. Like, you pick up things that you may not have caught, on previous viewings. I never saw Zorro before tonight.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. I'm sure I knew this, but I had forgotten that Steve Buscemi was Buddy Holly.
Oh, yeah.
The waiter. Like, when he popped on screen, I was like, oh, yeah. He's in this.
Yep. There's during the Gold Watch segment, at the very end, I had never noticed that when Bruce Willis, Butch, is leaving the pawn shop after saving Ving Rhames, there's a sign on the window that says watch batteries sold there.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
Huh.
Yeah.
So you think that's what made him turn around? He
I don't
saw
know.
that?
Yeah.
And he was, because the watch symbolizes, like, getting through shit, like making it through, and he was like, yeah, gotta make it through this. Gotta help that other guy make it through this.
Yeah.
I think that might be my... I don't know. It's hard to say. Like, the stuff with Butch might be my favorite part of the movie. Just because I've always loved Bruce Willis, like, from Moonlighting and
Right.
Hudson Hawk and just everything. Like, I've always thought he was great. But, I think that might be my favorite part of the movie, that whole story.
Yeah. It's a good part. I mean, there's no real bad parts to this movie.
Right, yeah.
I mean, maybe there was a couple parts where I was just like, hey, this is a little slower than I recall it being.
Right.
But, not to the point where it was just like, come on, get it over with.
No, never, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, some of it, like some of the dialogue, because you know exactly what is going to be.
Yeah.
All the back and forth, like, okay, here's the Royale with cheese scene.
Yeah.
I mean, like, it's cool and well written, but it's like,
Right.
you know it really well.
Yeah. We all repeated it to our friends ad nauseum
Right.
when we were 16, 17, whatever. Yeah.
Yeah.
Man, this movie was such, like, a big part of our teenage lives, though.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Our high school era.
Even when I worked at the movie theater, we had our clocking system. The timekeeping system was like this. It was like a punch clock,
Right.
but you had like this little credit card thing that you would swipe. And I had taken a label maker and put "bad motherfucker" on mine.
That's great.
And this movie also got me addicted to Sprite.
Sprite, really? Just because Jules drinks that guy's Sprite?
Yep. During the opening scene when they're about to kill the three kids who stole Marcellus Wallace's briefcase,
Mm-hmm.
and the one kid, Frank Wally, is eating Big Kahuna Burger and drinking a Sprite. I don't know what it was, but the way that Jules drank that Sprite just really made me thirsty for Sprite.
Right? He seemed to really enjoy it.
I know, right? And so, yeah, for just the longest time, I just would order a Sprite whenever I would go to, like, McDonald's or whatever. Because it was very refreshing.
You didn't order a Royale with cheese,
I
though, did you?
would not.
Okay.
No, yeah.
Yeah. I'm sure some people did.
Oh, I'm sure they did, yeah. I made sure that I would never do that at McDonald's. Or a Le Big Mac.
So what was the deal? The dude that Vincent Vega, spoiler, accidentally kills...
Marvin?
Marvin, yeah. He's like, why is he there in the apartment with the guys that Vincent and Jules are there to kill? Is he like undercover?
Okay. That's weird that you're... Well, it's kind of weird.
I never thought about it before today.
Okay. First of all, let me go ahead and plug another podcast out there.
Okay.
There's a podcast called I Was There Too, hosted by Matt Gorley, who is one of the Super Ego guys.
Oh, okay.
And the I Was There Too podcast is where he interviews people who were in very small roles in major movies.
Oh, all right.
And like his first episode ever, he interviews Paul F. Tompkins about being in There Will Be Blood.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
I think I heard that one.
Yeah, and he's interviewed like some of the like Marines who were in Aliens, and
Oh, cool.
like the passengers on the bus in Speed.
Right.
But his most recent episode is where he interviews Phil Lamar, who plays Marvin in Pulp Fiction, about playing Marvin in Pulp Fiction.
Wow. Okay.
Yeah. And so they kind of discuss a little bit about who Marvin is and why he's there. And basically he said that, just in talking to Quentin Tarantino before they were filming the movie, he basically sort of set it up that those four dudes had stumbled upon Marcellus Wallace's briefcase and decided, like they figured out who it belonged to, and they know who Marcellus Wallace is, and they decided to try to blackmail him or extort him to get money for it.
Okay.
And it turns out that Marvin was probably like a dude who happened to live in Jules's neighborhood. And, so basically word got around that, this guy was part of this thing, and so somebody eventually told Jules about it, and so, basically Jules confronted him prior to all this and said, hey, what the fuck are you doing? We gotta fix this.
And he spilled the beans.
Yep.
Okay.
In exchange to not be blown away.
Okay.
Which sadly does not work out for him.
No, it doesn't. Yeah. That's another thing about this movie. It's kind of like, it kind of has that lesson that's in a lot of your just violent, gangster movies where, it starts off glorifying, drug use and gunplay.
Right.
And then, it always turns out bad, of course. But, a lot of people just don't get that lesson.
Right.
In movies, like viewers don't get it.
Right.
They're like, man, Goodfellas is awesome. I love it when they just kill everybody,
Oh, yeah. Or all the dudes who have Scarface posters
right.
in their house.
Yeah, they don't get it.
Yeah.
I mean,
guess what? He dies in that movie.
Yeah. And not a very pleasant man before
yeah.
that. But yeah, this movie kind of shows how bumbling a lot of these people are.
Uh-huh.
Like Vincent Vega, especially.
Yeah.
And yeah.
That is actually part of that interview with Phil Lamar, is that they mentioned that originally in the script, Vincent was just going to shoot Marvin, like on purpose, just cold blood kill Marvin.
Okay.
And John Travolta actually told Tarantino, hey, maybe we shouldn't do that because that makes me a real asshole then throughout the rest of the movie, and you're never going to be on my side.
That's true.
And so they changed it to just having it be an accident.
Huh, that's his idea.
Yeah.
Nice. So he was going to kill him in the car?
I think he was going to kill him, and I guess it would be in the car in order to get the...
that whole scene.
Right.
Yeah. Yeah, it makes the movie a lot funnier.
Oh, yeah.
To have that. I mean, that's like one of the funniest parts of the movie, and it's such a dark humor, but it's really great.
Everyone in the theater cracked up,
right?
When we saw it.
It's that moment is only equaled by in Burn After Reading when Brad Pitt is surprisingly killed out of nowhere, like because you don't expect it,
Right, yeah.
Like that's why it's so funny.
Yeah. So that's the deal with Marvin.
Okay. Well, it makes more sense.
Yeah.
Because, there's a lot of, like unfleshed out backstory. Like, you don't really need it. Because the scene is set and the characters, the tone's built up enough that you know basically what's going on. But it does have a little bit of ambiguity where you're like, what's the deal with Maynard and Zed? What, what who is this gimp? Why,
Right. Why is Winston Wolfe at some sort of party wearing a tuxedo at 8:30 in the morning?
Yeah, right. He's still up from the night before, maybe. Yeah.
But like everything that's going on in the other room when he's on the phone.
Yeah.
It's like there's like an auction happening or something.
It's not right. An estate sale. Or something.
Yeah, it's weird.
A funeral? I don't know.
Yeah.
And you wouldn't wear a tuxedo to a funeral, I guess.
No. I wouldn't.
No. Maybe Winston Wolfe would.
Maybe. Yeah, it's true. He is the wolf.
He is maybe my favorite character in the movie.
Oh, yeah?
He's so good. Yeah. I think maybe because prior to this, I'd only ever seen him in Reservoir Dogs and Mean Streets, maybe?
Okay.
And he's so different. He's he's such a versatile character actor.
Right.
Because he's so kind of likable and nice in Reservoir Dogs, and then he's just a sweet old guy.
Right.
But in this one, he's more of a commanding, suave presence. So it just kind of, I was like, oh, this Harvey Keitel guy's really good.
He is pretty good.
Yeah, Harvey Keitel.
So, I mean, everybody knows Pulp Fiction, everybody knows the plot and all that.
Oh, yeah, you've seen it.
I'm sure everyone who's listening to the show has seen it.
Multiple times.
Right?
Yeah.
So let's talk about, what do you think about, all the conspiracy bullshit that happens with this movie?
Oh, you mean, with the what's in the case and stuff like that? I just feel like it's supposed to be some sort of, beautiful jewels or something.
Okay.
Like, you know, like something that's so amazing that if they showed it to you, it would lose that oomph that your imagination gives it.
Right. Yeah.
Like, to me, that's all it is.
Yeah, well, I mean, that is, yeah. I mean, Quentin Tarantino has basically said that it's, whatever you want it to be.
Yeah, right.
But there are a lot of people out there who say that it's Marcellus Wallace's soul.
Huh. That's interesting.
Because the devil has taken his soul through the back of his neck, which is why he wears the Band-Aid.
Oh.
And the combination in the briefcase is 666.
Right. Huh. Okay. That's interesting. I mean, I hadn't thought about that before. I just thought it was 666 because it was like kind of a joke, like 1, 2, 3, 4,
Right.
Like those are the two numbers you would try first. But,
Sure.
And I thought the Band-Aid was just to give a little character because the first 10 minutes you see Marcellus Wallace is from behind his head.
Right, yeah.
Just to give you something to look at.
Yeah. Apparently what it was is that he showed up to set and he had cut himself shaving his head.
Like the back of his neck?
Yeah. Because he shaves his own head.
Huh. Wow.
And they decided, hey, that's kind of neat looking.
Wow. That's interesting.
It's like Les Nessman from WKRP.
What? How's that?
Oh, the character of Les Nessman always had a Band-Aid on in a different place in every episode of WKRP.
Really?
Yeah, because the very first episode he had cut himself, and so he was wearing a Band-Aid, and so that just sort of became his thing.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
Huh. Pretty cool.
Yeah. And then, let's see, what else? Jerry Seinfeld being in the movie.
Right. He's the guy hiding in the bathroom with the gun. Young Jerry Seinfeld.
Yeah. It's actually an Arquette brother.
Oh, really?
Yeah. Who is actually now an Arquette sister.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah. Alexis Arquette, I think, is her name. Yeah.
Good for her.
Yeah. Of course, there's another Arquette in this movie, Rosanna Arquette.
Yeah.
Not my favorite Arquette.
No. Yeah. You're a David, right?
I like David Arquette. Yeah.
Oh, I was going to go Patricia.
Patricia, for sure.
Yeah.
And then The Medium.
The Medium?
Yeah.
Is that a movie?
There was a TV show where she was a psychic housewife who solved crimes.
I don't know about this show. Wow. I was just thinking True Romance and Lost Highway.
Yeah. Nightmare on Elm Street 3.
Yeah, oh yeah. That's arguably her best work. It's the only film she's been in that I know of that has a Dokken soundtrack, so...
There's gotta be another one.
There probably is. Sometimes whenever I masturbate to her scene in Lost Highway, I'm listening to Dokken with the volume turned down on Lost Highway. But I'm more masturbating to Dokken, and she just happens to be on the screen at the same time. George Lynch's guitar solos, am I right, everybody?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. I'm getting hard right now.
What else? What else about this movie?
What else about this movie? Was it ever turned into anything else? Was there ever a theatrical play or a novelization or
I don't think so.
Marvel comic graphic novel adaptation?
Yeah, I'm not sure. I really doubt it.
It seems weird that they didn't have some sort of actual, pulp novel kind of tie-in with some of the characters.
Right, yeah. I mean, I know Tarantino has talked about, of course he talks about this with every fucking movie that he does, potential spin-offs. Like he wanted to do a movie where, he revealed that Vincent Vega and Michael Madsen's character from Reservoir Dogs are actually brothers.
Oh, yeah.
And he wanted to do a Vega Brothers movie. But,
that'd be interesting.
The only thing that I know of is that there was a script book of this movie that came out at one point. And
so is Tarantino really interested in the pulp era or something? Or
I have no idea.
I wonder what inspired this.
I don't know. I know it was co-written with a person who has gone on to do some other things that weren't as great.
What was his name? Randy something?
Roger Avery.
Roger Avery?
Yeah.
Is he a baseball player?
There's probably a baseball player.
It sounds like a baseball player name, like a pitcher.
Yeah. But he has written quite a few movies. He's also been in prison for manslaughter.
Oh.
And he also co-wrote Beowulf with Neil Gaiman.
Really?
Yeah.
Well, there's your comic tie-in.
Yeah. And he also wrote the first Silent Hill movie.
Oh, there's another comic tie-in. There was a scene that had Nick Fury versus the Abomination.
It did? Yep.
Why didn't he just kill him right there? He would have saved Ed Norton a whole lot of trouble.
It's true. Let's see.
That's what happened to Jules after he left the diner.
He
became Nick Fury. He's the shepherd of the superhero community.
I buy that. Yeah.
He probably lost his eye in some sort of
Right.
Vincent Vega's knife slipped, his switchblade slipped out of his hand or something in the car.
Well, Vincent Vega dies pretty much after.
Oh, that's true. Yeah.
After they part ways. Spoiler.
That's towards the beginning of the film, actually.
Yeah. So. Maybe Marcellus Wallace did not take Jules retiring so nicely.
Right. Yeah.
And stabbed out his eye.
Yeah.
And then the government said, "Hey, you're a bad motherfucker. Why don't you come work for us?"
I'm really glad that Ving Rhames didn't get typecast as having to fight sex gimps, because I think this is the second movie I've seen with him from early on in his career where the villain of the movie was like a weird sex gimp.
Really?
I remember People Under the Stairs.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
That's right.
So I'm glad he broke through those shackles. Because he's pretty good. I like him.
Oh yeah.
He was great in this movie.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. Very commanding presence.
Oh yeah. Definitely the first thing that I ever recall seeing him in, for sure.
Yeah, me too.
Yeah.
Although I had seen People Under the Stairs before this, but...
Right. In fact, actually, when we were watching it, I was kind of thinking that of everyone in this movie, only Samuel L. Jackson seems to be the one that has gotten away unscathed from a future of terrible, terrible movies. Because Bruce Willis and John Travolta pretty much nowadays are only doing direct-to-DVD.
Really? Bruce
bullshit.
Willis?
Oh, yeah.
Really? How about Walken?
Okay.
He did alright.
He's doing okay.
Yeah.
I think he just kind of, gets a free pass for life kind of thing.
Yeah.
And also, for some reason, completely forgot that Christopher Walken was in this movie.
Yeah, he's so great in this.
He is amazing in this.
His delivery, I think, just works so perfectly in this movie.
Oh, yeah.
Like, it sometimes, I don't know, he's a little, I wouldn't say off-putting, but just his, general line delivery is just so odd.
Yeah.
But it's perfect in this movie.
Absolutely.
I still remember everybody cracking up in the theater when he says the watch was in his ass for 2 years.
Yep. And I don't know if you found it hilarious or not, but when he's holding up the watch after he has just given that speech, and then there's just the little kid hand that grabs it immediately,
Yeah.
and it just cuts. I find that so goddamn funny.
Yeah. Well, I think that, because Bruce Willis, pops up and he's, having that dream.
Right.
And I think Bruce Willis is an awesome physical comedy actor.
Oh, yeah.
Seriously, people, if you haven't seen Hudson Hawk, it is one of the funniest movies I have ever seen.
I love that movie.
And a lot of it is, Bruce Willis's physical comedy and, comedic timing.
Yeah.
And,
he's a very good comedic actor. He started in comedies.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Yep.
Not a lot of people remember that because he's done a lot of stupid bullshit
done a lot
since.
Yeah, what happened? Yeah, Moonlighting.
And also became, apparently, just the world's most giant asshole.
I've heard a lot of... I've heard a lot of people say he's not... Which is weird to me because he always had, kind of a personable, affable kind of, demeanor when he was on, you'd see him on David Letterman or whatever.
Right.
And, Dave seemed to love him and, he always had him back over and over and over.
Right.
I don't know. It just seemed like seems like a nice guy.
Right.
But I've heard a lot of stories that he's just kind of a prima donna.
Right. Although I will say, some of those stories I've heard was from that Kevin Smith movie he did.
Oh, yeah.
And so that's basically like just, the world's other biggest asshole calling out the world's biggest asshole.
Oh, yeah.
So it's just sort of like,
Okay. But yeah, I mean, I think it's one of those things where you look at, too, how many times do the same directors work with an actor?
Right.
And if they don't work with them often, it's probably because they're not,
Right.
they don't get along well. And, like, I don't think he was ever in another Tarantino movie, was he?
I don't believe he was.
No.
Because neither was John Travolta.
Yeah, yeah. Well, it's because he's a Scientologist.
That's, possibly.
Tarantino found that out, and he was like, nope.
It could be.
Done.
Of course, Tim Roth has not been in another Tarantino movie since. Yeah.
Yeah, but he was in a couple before then.
Yeah, he was in Reservoir Dogs.
Yeah.
Not that Tarantino has had a very prolific career. He's only made like 6 movies.
I know, it seems like he's made dozens, though.
Right. What's your favorite Tarantino movie?
Ooh. If you consider Natural Born Killers a Tarantino movie, because he wrote it.
He wrote it.
That's my favorite movie he's involved in.
Okay.
But out of everything he directed, man, that's a tough one. Gosh.
Want me to tell you mine?
Yeah.
Jackie Brown.
Jackie Brown?
Yep.
That
Pulp
one,
Fiction, top 5 favorite films. Jackie Brown is a better movie, though.
Yeah. I don't know that I would disagree as far as if I had to pick a favorite. Like, I can't really think of what is my favorite, but Jackie Brown is awesome. That's such a good movie.
Yeah. And I like his other movies, except for Death Proof.
Oh, I like Death Proof, too.
I hate Death Proof, but I've talked about it before, I think. But I think his other movies, like Inglourious Bastards and Kill Bill and Django Unchained, I think they're all good movies, but I think they all are a little bit masturbatory. It's Quentin Tarantino saying that, hey, I love these types of movies, so I'm making this type of movie.
Yeah, I see what you mean.
And that's fine, and like I said, I enjoy those movies, and they're good.
Yeah.
But I think Jackie Brown, like, even though it's an adaptation of a novel, is his most mature and, like, well put together, movie.
But without just slapping his influences on the screen
Right, yeah,
so vividly, right? Yeah, I can see that.
Because, I mean, I'm sure Reservoir Dogs and Pulp and Jackie Brown even have, his influences in them, obviously, but, they're more subtle than some of the other ones.
Yeah. Yeah.
But again, I still like them. Yeah.
I'd kind of like to see Jackie Brown again now. Yeah. Now that you say that, it's probably been at least 10 years since I've seen that one. I saw that one in the theater too. I think it was on Christmas Day.
Yes, it was.
And, yeah, I really enjoyed it. And I think I've seen it one time after that, so.
I saw it, I only saw it in the theater once, but I've seen it on video at least twice. Once when it probably came out on VHS, and then when I bought it on DVD eventually. And I've read the book, Rum Punch.
Yeah. It's an Elmore Leonard book, right? Yeah, I haven't read any of his stuff. My brother loves Elmore Leonard, and I think he's read every single book that he's done,
right?
Which is not a small amount of books.
No,
but he keeps telling me I should read one, but I'm like, I don't know, maybe.
I find them enjoyable. I've read at least 2 or 3, and of course, Justified is based on a short story.
Yeah, so weird.
Yeah. Yeah, Pulp Fiction. This is a lot of fun to revisit.
It was I think it holds up really well, and it might even be more enjoyable this time than the last time I watched it.
Right.
It's a very good movie.
I think for me it was just because, like I said, I was able to now, you can catch things that like you don't catch on an initial viewing.
Right.
And especially now, having been so long since I had seen it, that it was still so memorable, like I still remembered, lines of dialogue like before that happened, but still being able to pick out little details, even like fuck ups, like the scene in the apartment when Alexis Arquette jumps out of the bathroom to shoot them. Before he does that, there are bullet holes on the wall behind him.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
I didn't notice.
Yep, the bullet holes are already there on the wall.
Oh, so maybe he was just shooting blanks, and Jules' whole divine intervention thing was just...
It's possible.
Huh. Yeah.
Yeah.
Good movie.
Very good movie.
Glad you picked it.
Yeah. It was sort of just a last-minute thing. We were sitting here trying to figure out what to watch, and we just started going through my DVD collection, and my first choice you rejected.
Which one was it?
Buckaroo Banzai.
Oh, yeah, I just wasn't in the mood for that. I don't know. I've seen it one time, and I just remember not enjoying it for some reason.
Yeah. But it'll be my next movie.
Yeah. And I don't usually veto, so I'll probably watch it.
It won't be. I'll just watch it on my own at some point.
I don't know why. I mean, it sounds like something I would enjoy.
Right.
It's like funny and weird and 80s.
Yeah.
Yeah, what's not to like?
It's got Peter Weller and Clancy Brown.
Right.
Jeff Goldblum.
Oh, really? Goldblum's in there?
Yeah.
I didn't know that.
John Lithgow.
Yeah.
Christopher Lloyd.
What?
How can you go wrong?
See, it almost sounds like too much at this point. It's like I missed out. Like I'd never heard the Beatles before, and like people are like, yeah, it's got all this, everything ever, and you're like, I don't want to get into that. I missed out. I'm moving on.
Want to take a break?
Yeah,
I could pee.
That. Yeah, you could. Yeah, you could.
All right, we'll be back.
I keep hearing you're concerned about my happiness. All that thought you're giving me is conscience, I guess. If I were walking in your shoes, I wouldn't worry none. Are you no friends or worrying about me? I'm having lots of fun. Counting flowers on the wall, that don't bother me at all. Playing solitaire till dawn with the deck of 51. Smoking cigarettes and watching Captain Kangaroo. Now don't tell me I've nothing to do. Last night I dressed in tails, pretended I was on the town. As long as I can dream, it's hard to slow the swinger down. So please don't give a thought to me, I'm really doing fine. You can always find me here and having quite a time. Counting flowers on the wall, that don't bother me at all. Playing solitaire till dawn with the deck of 51. Smoking cigarettes and watching Captain Kangaroo. Now don't tell me I've nothing to do. It's good to see you, I must go, I know I look a fright. Anyway, my eyes are not accustomed to this light, and my shoes are not accustomed to this hard concrete. So I must go back to my room and make my day complete. Counting flowers on the wall, that don't bother me at all. Playing solitaire till dawn with the deck of 51. Smoking cigarettes and watching Captain Kangaroo. Now don't tell me I've nothing to do. Don't tell me I've nothing to do.
Welcome back to Gutter Trash.
Hello.
Hi.
Hi.
So, yeah, we're doing a podcast.
We're doing a podcast.
It's different.
It's... Yeah.
From recent months.
Right, yeah.
Not from the previous ones. It's just as bad.
It's... Yeah. Can't deny that. So what have you been up to in the last 4 months?
Nothing. Drawing, working, playing with my dog. I have a dog.
Yeah. I think you had her before.
I'm sure I mentioned her on here. She keeps me busy.
Yeah. She's rambunctious.
She is, yeah. Yeah. Nothing terribly exciting.
Yeah.
Just working at Mavericks. Yeah. And I like it. I like it a lot.
That's good.
Yeah.
I remember back when you didn't.
Yeah. I totally hated it for a while. I think it just got so stagnant and nobody working there wanted, like, to do anything because it felt like Jack was in a place where his health was declining and he just didn't feel like doing anything, and like he would sort of squelch any ideas we had, and like the story was just it was so stagnant and like just
plus the Magic players.
Plus the Magic player. Honestly, it's not the players as much as it is the time that the players take away from the other parts of the story. Like, I genuinely like most of our Magic players. I really do. But I just feel like the Magic section is like, it is a success to the defeat of everything else in the story, you know? But it's good now because, like, I'm hardly ever in the Magic section. It's awesome.
That's good.
And we have enough employees and things are moving right along, and it's nice. It's not stagnant. We're doing well. Good. So it's cool.
And your brother works there again?
He is. My brother's there once a week, which is awesome.
Yeah.
He's there Wednesday nights usually. So yeah, it's fun to work with him. Yeah. I've probably spent more time with him in the last 2 months than I have in the last year.
Well, that's good. So, yeah. I mean, as long as you like him.
Yeah. I love spending time with him. Yeah. It's weird that for some reason our schedules didn't really mesh well, so we just didn't really spend a lot of time together. But yeah, it's pretty good now.
Yeah. Must be nice to have a brother that you like.
Yeah, it's not too bad. Yeah. See, that's the cool thing about the world is it's not just, your blood brothers. You can be brothers with anybody.
Yeah. I kind of consider you like a brother.
See, I feel like you're more like a sister.
Oh. I'll take it. Well, yeah, that still makes sense.
Oh, okay.
So you're my brother. I'm your sister.
Oh, you're my little sister, yeah.
Is it because I've been crying so much?
It's your feminine wiles, yeah. You have a feminine way about you.
Yeah.
Your light touch, I think is what it is.
It's fair, yeah. Yeah. Well, that's good.
Yeah. Things are all right.
My last 4 months have been fucking misery.
But you're pulling yourself out of it.
I'm trying.
Yeah.
It does not necessarily work all the time.
Nor should it be expected to.
Right, yeah. But, I know that sometime in the near future I'm probably going to have contact with the ex again, and I'll probably just spiral out again after that meeting.
I hope not.
I hope not either. And then the thing is that when we do get together and meet, it is usually, pleasant.
Yeah.
The only animosity is that, hey, why did you break up with me? But other than that...
Other than that small exchange.
Right, yeah. No, yeah. You know what? And it's my fault for falling in love.
Oh.
I should not have invested emotionally.
No, that's not true.
It might be true. But yeah, so pretty much my last 4 months have been depression and sadness and crying and the feeling like I'm drowning, and I think about suicide every single day. Not the band. The actual act of it. But I am making every attempt I can to not do that.
Well, that's good. That's very good.
And so hopefully doing podcasts again will help.
Yeah.
I know you and Joe G have been great boons to me. Although you guys also cancel plans on me quite frequently. Or
What? I don't know if quite frequently is fair, but yeah. Life happens sometimes.
Yeah. Well, I understand you guys can't babysit me all the time. As much as I would like it.
Well, I'm glad to see you're branching out a bit.
I'm trying.
Yeah.
So hopefully this helps a little bit. Otherwise, I've been watching a lot of TV shows.
Right.
And then spending a lot of time at my parents' house. Because even that is better than alone.
Right, yeah. You're drawing a lot?
Been drawing a little bit too much.
Mostly on a tablet. You've kind of abandoned ink and paper.
I have, for the most part.
Yeah.
It's a little weird.
It's a little sad for me.
I don't know why it is, but
I love ink and paper.
ink and paper is great. I also love it, but the convenience of the tablets and the phone are just too great to ignore.
It's true, but what if like all the like ancient Egyptians and all the previous cultures had progressed to digital formats, and like after their technology went down, their civilization was wiped out. There wouldn't be any remnants of those artifacts left, but
It'd be in the cloud.
right, but the cloud will be gone.
Listen, if for whatever reason any future civilizations wanted to know what I was drawing,
Yeah,
I have got like a 2-foot high stack of paper sitting behind me.
that's true.
And that is only a fraction of the 3 different sketch days that I have been involved with. Not to mention,
It's an impressive stack.
not to mention whatever might be hidden in drawers or other rooms of my house,
true.
or in that closet. Even I know that like a lot of my college artwork is in there.
Right.
There is no lack of physical material of my art.
Well, what if your best stuff is ahead of you, but you only do it digitally, and then we get wiped out?
Well, then whatever. Nobody cares.
Oh.
There are 3 people who check out my blog, and you're not even one of them.
I am always there. I see it all the time.
Yeah, no one gives a shit about what I do or will ever do. So, whatever. If I draw on my phone, it does not matter. In the slightest.
They're impressive. Like, I mean, it's very well done stuff.
Yeah.
I just, personally, I like a tangible, finished product to like give to somebody or put in a binder or a frame or whatever.
And, I'm not completely abandoning pen and ink or paper or anything like that. It just, for sake of convenience and it's
True.
just...
Yeah.
I've always got my phone on me,
Right.
and if I can draw on it, why not?
Yeah. I mean, I definitely understand the pros of it.
Yeah. And I've still got ideas and stuff that I'm actually going to do on a piece of paper at some point.
Cool. Yeah. Like a grocery list.
Like a grocery list.
Then you probably do that on your phone too, don't you?
No, I don't make any kind of list.
Oh, okay.
I just go to the grocery store and wing it.
Yeah. Oh,
and
you're
come
winging.
back and realize that
There's no toothpaste.
yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, I'm done winging it. I'm officially old. I do my grocery list in order of how the items appear in the store too. Like I know the.
Well, that means you have to memorize the layout of the store.
Oh yeah, it's easy. I got it down.
What happens if they rearrange?
I'm fucked. I spend 3 hours in the grocery. But no, I don't shop at Meijer's, so luckily Kroger's has been the same all my entire life.
Right.
They haven't rearranged, so.
What if they decide to rebuild that one as a super Kroger?
Oh my gosh. I don't know what I'll do. I'll go somewhere else.
You'd be looking for olives, but then suddenly you're in the furniture section.
Yeah. What are these diapers doing in the kiwi section? Guess I'll have to eat these diapers. How do you tell if
tastes like kiwi?
how do you tell if a diaper's ripe? You squeeze it. It's supposed to be firm. I don't know.
Yeah, I don't know. I don't know anything about buying fruit.
Right?
All I know is if the watermelon looks a little more red than the other
Than its
watermelon,
neighbor.
it's usually pretty good.
Yeah. Yeah. Kroger.
Man, I could really go some fruit right now.
I know, right?
Right.
I had some fruit earlier today.
I did not.
Nah.
Yeah. So we're back.
Yeah, obviously. Bringing our A game. Yep.
Yep.
One of us had fruit. The other did not. Take
Yep.
notes.
Yep.
Take notes. It's come to this. You've ran out of good entertainment. You're
Yeah.
actually listening to two guys talk about whether or not they ate fruit.
Well, here's the deal. We haven't done a podcast in 4 months.
It's true. Yeah.
And when I ask you, hey, what's been going on the last 4 months? And you say nothing.
Yeah.
And then you ask me what's going on for the last 4 months, and I say sadness.
Right.
clearly, we're not living full lives.
Right. Well, I don't know. I've done some stuff. What have I done? Have I done anything? I haven't done anything. I've just worked at Mavericks and I've drawn a little bit.
Right.
I was published by Image. That was pretty good.
Yeah. There you go.
Yeah.
Talk about that.
I'm now published by Image. There's a book. It'll probably be a future pick for the show because I really enjoy an Image comic called Kaptara.
We're both reading it.
Yeah. Chip Zdarsky and Kagan McLeod.
Yeah.
And it's like a fun sci-fi version of like a ridiculous He-Man universe, sort of.
Yeah.
And one of the characters in the second issue, I think it was the second issue, I really liked. He was only in one or two panels, and I drew a picture of him and I emailed him along with, like a few kind words for the book. And lo and behold, in issue 4, I think, they printed my letter and my drawing. So I'm an unpaid published Image artist.
There you go. And
like,
you also got Letter of the Week.
Right? Along with like 4 other guys. Yeah.
Well, sure.
But, yeah. Yeah, it was like a pretty good, it was like a fourth of the page there.
It was.
They gave me.
They reprinted your art very well.
Yeah, I was happy. But yeah, it's a really good book.
It is.
Check
Super
it out.
Fun.
So I guess we don't have to review that now.
Yep.
That one's done.
Yep.
Mark that off.
All right.
Man, we're coming back with a vengeance. We're better than ever. And you got published too?
Did I?
Holy fuck, yeah, you did.
That happened before we...
Really?
Yeah,
Did it?
yeah.
Okay, I thought that was like a few months ago.
Yeah, Bambi and I were still together.
Oh. I didn't mean to bring it back to that.
It's all right.
Hey, there's Hellboy riding a cow.
Yep, that's pretty great.
I love Kevin Nolan.
He is fantastic.
He did there's an Abe Sapien one shot he did that I still haven't read.
Yeah. It came out fairly recently, didn't it?
Yeah, it's in my pile of to read stuff.
Didn't he also do a Lobster Johnson not too long ago?
He did like a bookends of it. It's like 3 pages at the beginning and end of the book.
Sure, I could
Yeah.
he did like a full
No,
one-shot.
because I was really excited about it, and I picked it up and flipped through it, and most of the book he did not do. You're dubious, but I swear, man.
All right. Let's see. Oh, I saw a movie.
You did
recently.
Oh yeah.
That is partially relevant to our show here.
Yeah.
I saw the Fantastic Four movie.
The brand new one.
The brand new one, or as I call it, the Fant Four Stick.
The Fant Four Stick.
Yeah. Because the logo is Fant Four Stick.
Yeah.
Yeah. That's what it's called, Fant Four Stick.
I like it.
Because, hey, Hollywood people, if that's the stupid fucking thing you're gonna do, that's what I'm gonna call your movie. The only one that ever worked for was Transformers.
Yeah. Oh, is this the 4th Fantastic Four movie?
Holy shit, it is.
Huh. Okay. And they still didn't get it right.
It's still terrible. Although, not as bad as everyone else in the world will have you believe.
Just bad, not extremely bad.
Right, yeah. It is basically just painfully mediocre and boring.
Yeah, okay.
Like it is not like the Roger Corman movie is terrible, but in a fun terrible way.
Right.
Like it's a so bad it's good kind of thing. This one is just so painfully down the middle that it just shouldn't even register on anyone's radar.
That is almost worse though, right?
A little bit, yeah.
Because at least the other is like got an entertainment value to it.
Right. Yeah, there's very little entertainment value in the new Fantastic Four. It is just dull as dirt and just an incomprehensible mess. But at the same time, you're watching it and you're like, well, the elements are there.
Right.
There are definitely things in this movie that work. But it is not put together well.
Yeah, that's too bad. I don't know that I'll ever see it, but
It's not worth seeing.
No.
I'll tell you that much.
Yeah.
It is like definitely, like I said, not as bad as everyone else in the world is making it out to be, but you can totally miss it and be okay for the rest of your life. It is not worth paying money to watch.
I had
And I paid full fucking price.
Oh, that's too bad. That's too bad. Yeah, because I had my Ben Grimm Thing T-shirt on the other day at Mavericks, and like 8 people asked me if I'd seen the movie, and I was like, no, and they like looked at me weird, you know. And I was like, well, isn't it weird that you didn't ask me if I read the new comic?
Right.
I mean, yeah, or like I guess there isn't a brand new comic, but you know,
It's canceled.
yeah, but I mean, like I've worn that shirt for years, and no one has ever like, oh, that's a good comic.
Right.
It's like, you know, just because I like a comic about a character doesn't mean I want to see a movie about that character.
Right.
You know?
Well, it's like, that's kind of the thing. Is like a lot of people just assume it's like, oh, you like comics, so you've seen all the comic book movies.
Yeah, there's like a dozen I haven't seen.
Right.
Yeah. Yeah.
And guess what? Just because you like comics doesn't mean you have to
Right.
go see the movies.
Yeah.
You don't.
No.
If it looks bad, you can skip it.
Yeah. That's true.
I would have skipped the Fantastic Four, but my friend coerced me into seeing it.
There's a lot of our customers that I feel like skipping a superhero movie would just be like them skipping a meal or like not sleeping one night. You know, they're like, they wouldn't even consider.
Right.
It's like, you don't have to. I mean, some of them look awesome and some of them are awesome and then some of them just look horrible.
Yeah.
You don't feel obligated, you know.
Like, the thing that gets me, like I remember this once, I think it was when Hellboy 2 came out. And I love the Hellboy movies. I loved the first one, and I thought the second one was even better.
They're both great.
Yeah. And I was on like a message board or something, and like the second movie was coming out or whatever, and some guy was like, the trailer had been released or something like that, and he was like, this looks fucking awful, and I hated the first movie, but I guess I'll go see it. And I was like, why? If you hated the first movie, why? It's like the Star Wars prequels. Like, Phantom Menace came out, everybody hated it, but then everybody went out and saw the other two when they came out.
Right.
Why?
I was kind of in that boat though. Like, I was super disappointed when I saw Phantom Menace, but I was like, well, maybe they'll get it right this time. You know, like, I don't want to miss out if it is awesome. So, like,
I mean, I kind of get that, but, if all the evidence is there that it's just going to be more of the same or even worse, why bother?
right.
If there's a series of movies and the first one is awful, why force yourself to see the others?
Well, yeah.
Like, I saw Phantom Menace and said, you know what? I'm good.
Yeah. I've still only seen Phantom Menace one time, and it was like the week it came out in the theater.
Yeah, same here. Yeah. And I never saw Attack of the Clowns and Bobo Goes to College.
I saw them both in the theater one time, and I think I've seen Revenge of the Sith once on DVD at Kathleen's, but yeah, I'm good on those for the rest of my life.
Right.
Like, I'm sure some people enjoy them, and it's awesome. I'm glad you do, but
right.
yeah. I couldn't care less.
Yeah, not for me. So, like The Dark Knight, I famously do not like. Even though I am the only person in the world that does not like it. But because I did not like it, I said, you know what? I'm going to skip Dark Knight Rises.
Yeah. You still haven't seen it?
I actually did. But it was on TV. It was like 3 weeks ago.
Oh, wow. Okay.
Yep.
So it's been a while.
Yeah. And guess what? I fucking hated that movie. Glad I didn't pay to see money for it. Or pay money to see
I enjoyed all of them, but they're not very fun. I mean, like, I've never been like, I need to rewatch this movie. You know, that hasn't happened yet.
I actually kind of rewatched like a really big portion of Batman Begins the other day. And I still really like it. I still think that it is a great movie. But man, did I dislike Dark Knight.
Yeah.
And then, just, again, 3 weeks ago on like FX or AMC or something, like Dark Knight Rises was on. And I was like, there's nothing else. I'll watch this. And it was fucking awful.
Yeah.
It was the dumbest movie I've ever watched.
Oh.
And also not any fun.
Yeah. Yeah, it wasn't a lot of fun. I enjoyed it, but mostly just for, like, the visuals and the acting was pretty good, but, as far as just, like, enjoyable movie and like fun time, not really so much. Yeah. I'd still rather watch most Marvel movies than those Batman movies.
But you still haven't seen Ant-Man, though, right?
I have not. I have not seen Ant-Man.
I really recommend it.
Mm-hmm.
If you're looking for fun, it is probably the second most fun Marvel movie.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Second only to the new Fantastic Four.
Yeah. It's not a Marvel movie.
Oh, that's right. It's not based on a Marvel comic.
Yeah. We're all gonna pray for the failure of the Fantastic Four so that Marvel will get back the rights and make their own version.
Yeah.
Because that's not gonna happen ever. Hey, guess what, fanboys? Give it up.
Yeah.
Fox is holding on to that with a death grip.
Mm-hmm. Like, we're gonna lose money on this for the rest of our lives.
Yep. Anything to not give it back to Marvel.
Well, eventually Disney, Marvel will own the world.
That's true.
And they'll just end up with that anyway.
Right.
Lucasfilm. Wow, yeah. Lucasfilm, Disney, Marvel.
Yeah?
All they need is Walmart. And they've pretty much got half the planet.
They may already have Walmart. I'm
Yeah.
not even sure.
Right. Man. Yeah.
Yeah. So, So, maybe if we're going to keep doing this, I should pick a comic for us to read.
I would love to read a comic.
Yeah?
Yeah. Like a graphic novel or a series or whatever.
Right.
Because lately I've just been reading... I've been keeping up pretty well on my new monthly books that I buy.
Yeah.
Like I used to always have a problem keeping up, but I think it's because we were always reading graphic novels.
Sure.
So I'm really looking forward to losing that momentum on my new comics.
All right, no problem. Well, let me fuck up your life for you here.
Yeah.
Actually, even though we haven't been doing much of anything, I haven't read a lot of anything at all. Just because, of the lonely time sadness, the train that I'm on.
Right.
Which does not make reading enjoyable. But I did actually read, our friend Joe G sold me the, entire trade paperback collection of the Mark Waid and Mike Waringo Fantastic Four run.
Okay.
I read the first trade of that. It was alright. Yeah, I'm not a huge Mark Waid fan, but, it was fine.
Yeah. That's cool.
But that is not what we're going to be reading for our next pick. Actually, we're going to read a book, and I know that the last time I picked a comic, you'd think, well, hey, you should just pick that comic that you had previously picked. I'm not going to.
Yeah.
So no Thrilling Adventure Hour comic yet. We're actually going to read a book that I just got in the mail on Friday.
Oh.
And it is a book that I did not order. It is a book I did not buy. It is a book I have never heard of before I opened the package.
Well, it's from Santa Claus.
Kinda. If Santa Claus was a guy by the name of Chris Pfeiffer? Puff Pfeiffer? I don't know how to pronounce it.
I think it's Pfeiffer.
I think it's Pfeiffer, but then Will Puff Pfeiffer is pronounced Puff Pfeiffer, the writer of the Teen Titans.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, so I don't know what to believe anymore in life.
Yeah, it's all a mystery.
But for just the sake of how I've just always believed it to be pronounced, we'll go Pfeiffer.
Yeah.
Chris Pfeiffer, who was a listener to the program, who commissioned both of us last year to do a Tom Waits drawing for him.
Oh, yeah, that's right.
Out of nowhere, sent me a present. He bought a book on Amazon and sent it to me.
That's sweet.
Yeah, I was incredibly touched by the gesture and totally unexpected and totally unnecessary, but I'm also not going to turn down a free comic book.
Right, yeah.
Especially one that looks as good as this one does.
Yeah.
Because it looks kind of awesome. I don't know anything about it. Like I said, never heard of it. Never heard of the guy who made it. But we're going to read it and find out if it's any good.
Sweet.
It is called Dorfler, by a guy named Jeremy Baum. Baum?
Yeah.
B-A-U-M.
Yeah.
I don't know.
And it's about Tim Conway's golf
Yes.
antics.
Uh-huh.
Oh, wow. I'm really excited to read that.
Dorfler on golf.
Yeah. Sweet.
You know I love Tim Conway.
Oh, who doesn't?
Yeah.
Why would you not?
Right. If you don't love Tim Conway, you're inhuman. Which means you are getting a heavy push by Marvel.
Mm-hmm. Oh, yeah. Atlantean Rising.
Adelon.
Whatever.
Yeah, all right. So Dorfler.
Cool. Yeah.
So it's a book. I guess it's relatively recent-ish. It's published by Fantagraphics. It's available on Comixology. Follow along with us, folks.
Yeah, this time we might actually read it.
We might be back in a week.
We certainly hope so.
Yeah, let's hope that nothing horrible happens to either of us in the next week.
Or the planet in general. Because, if we're okay, but, the moon crashes into, the Earth, we probably still wouldn't do the show.
Probably not. But at the same time, I don't think I would be too upset if that happened.
Oh, I would. I like the moon and the Earth just where they're at.
Our time is done.
No.
It is.
No, it's just beginning.
Nope. Well, listen, whatever I feel emotionally about myself and my depression and whatever, that's fine. That's on me. But as a whole, the human race is over.
I thought you meant just me and you.
No.
Okay.
No. The human race. Our time is done. Let's end this fucking thing.
We're on the cusp. We're in the fall. We're approaching the winter of our existence.
What I'm saying is that the apocalypse cannot come soon enough. But on the occasion that it doesn't happen within the next week, we're gonna have a comic that we've read
called
Dorfler.
Cool.
All right.
Looking forward to it.
Yeah.
Well, thanks for hooking us up with that.
Yeah, thank you very much, Chris. I appreciate it greatly.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
Sweet. Until then,
goodbye. Thank you for listening to Gutter Trash. You can subscribe to the show from guttertrash.net or from iTunes and leave us a review. Visit guttertrash.net for email information, links to our Facebook and Twitter pages, and for other podcasts and websites in the Gutter Trash Network. Thanks again for listening, and we'll see you next time.